You see, in the eyes of some people around the world, some of the glitter, some of the sparkly stuff.
Alfie D.
But I got news for you. See, I'm still wearing cashmere. I'm still walking around in alligators. Woo! I'm still looking at the diamonds on this big old Rolex. I'm still riding around that limousine. And I am still driving the women in this world completely out of their ever-loving cotton-picking minds because I am still the world heavyweight wrestling champion.
Alfie D. What's going on? What's going on here? This is your boy Alfie D, and the place to be, and the place to be is Street Talk Podcast. Today we got something special for y'all, the guys. Today we got a special guest in the house today. She runs Kaz. She's coming to you straight up on Street Talk Podcast, Miss Crystal Holloway. Check her out up on Lyfe Line Podcast. Miss Crystal Holloway, how you doing today? We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but
we did.
Now.
Yeah, okay. This is much better. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And yourself? I'm sorry about that. A little technical difficulties, but we good now. We good now.
Yes.
So how's your day going so far?
My day is going pretty well. Can't complain. How about you?
So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm glad we got this little hiccup but right now we just, right now we on the line right now with Miss Crystal Holloway from Lyfe Line Podcast. We's on here today's little special interview today. So what's going on? I want us to start off a little bit by telling a little bit of people about yourself and a little bit about your podcast also, and what started you for doing the podcast, and also pretty much I guess giving your input on life and giving your life experience and telling everybody exactly what's going on and how they might get better themselves in life.
So my podcast, my tagline is giving you the tools you need to live a life aligned. So I talk about topics and interview guests who really are just kind of out here living their best lives and inspiring you to do the same. So whether it's spirituality or money, energy, like whatever we're talking about, the whole goal is really to get people to really think about what it is they truly want in life and how to go about living that life, and not just dreaming about it, but actually doing it.
Exactly, because and that's the problem right now. It's a big hiccup because a lot of times people will say, I want to do this in life, I want to do that, but they don't visualize that self doing it, in effect where as though they actually seeing that self in the driver's seat. They might see that self outside the car, but they don't see that self actually inside the seat. So, what's the best part of, visualizing your goals in life? I know a vision board and everything like that, but a lot of times people put the vision board down, they write whatever they want, but they might stick it on the refrigerator on the back side of it, but they don't stick it on the front or in the bathroom in the mirror so they could be able to see it every day. So won't you tell me exactly about the importance of writing actually putting together a vision board?
So vision boards are great. I have used one for a few years. I would say the past 3 years. This year, 2021, I decided to do something a little different. So I actually put together a mind movie, which is like a vision board slideshow. So it's like a vision board PowerPoint. And after my morning meditation, I look at that every morning. Now my vision boards, and again, vision boards are great. I've used them. They have been effective, and I hang mine up in my bedroom. So I make sure mine is nice. Like I do it on poster board, but then I put it in a frame. So it's like, it's something, first of all, you want to look at. So, if it's just like a big piece of paper with like a bunch of pictures just scattered on there and it doesn't look good to you, you don't enjoy looking at it, it's not going to be as effective. So make sure that however you decide to create your vision board is something that you love looking at. My vision board, actually, I still have my vision board from last year hanging in my bedroom because, you know, like I said, it's framed, it's hanging. It's something like the first thing I see when I wake up, the last thing I see when I go to bed. And just programming my mind to see those pictures, seeing those images every day. Looking back at it, like in December, when I'm reflecting on my goals for the year and looking at how they've come to fruition, it's like, oh my gosh, like when I put this here, and sometimes it'll just be an image that resonated with me for whatever reason. I'm like, oh, this is nice. This is something I would like to do. And then seeing how that came to life at the end of the year is like, wow. So, but for me, it's just doing what feels good to you.
Exactly. So do you think, like with me, myself, I started a vision board, and this is maybe, I didn't know about a lot of times people change their vision boards, you know, frequently, but I started mine's maybe about 2011, and I put like 5 things on my vision board. And this right now, you know, it's 2021 to say, and we conquered 4 things on my vision board. But one is kind of hard because it's, you know, where I'm living is like one that's on, you know, basically the last one is on there is putting my daughter in the best school possible. It's kind of hard to be in the area that that I'm in right now because it's really hard to find a good school around here. So I didn't want to start a whole new one or add anything onto it until I conquered my first vision board. Yes, it took me a long time because I put some big things on my vision board. So it took me a while to go and conquer everything. But, you know, like, you know, I listened to one of your podcasts, and your podcast said that, you know, you was doing it maybe every year. You was having a vision board party with, you know, close friends and things like that. So I didn't know, you know, that's something new to me. I didn't know a lot of people changed theirs. Like I said, I was stuck with bonds here right now. You know, it's been a long time, but I'm still working on trying to complete mine before I start another one.
So for that, your last goal, right? First of all, yes, refresh your vision board as often as feels good for you. Some people do it every quarter. Like I said, I personally do mine annually. But for this last goal that you have, a couple of things. The first thing is, I hear a lot of I can't because, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to continue to get. I can't because. The other thing is, you have an idea in your head about what you need to do to achieve this goal. So in your mind, you need to live in a particular area to put your daughter in a particular school, right?
Yes.
We throwing all that out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
It is 2021. There are so many virtual options, so many other options because of what we're going through right now with Corona and all these things, right?
Yes.
So this opens you up for this particular goal, but this is the way that I teach people to look at their goals in general. Your responsibility, what you are being asked to do, is set your goal. God, the universe, your ancestors, whoever, whatever higher power you identify with, will figure out the how. Exactly. So you need to let go of, I will get her in the school when, or I need to do, nope, set your intention. Your intention is to get your daughter in the best school possible, period. That is your intention. That is the goal you're setting. That is what you're claiming into your life. And allow the universe, allow God to work a miracle around this thing in your life. There may be a charter school application that opens up for people that don't live in an area. There may be a virtual option. Whatever and however this thing will work out, it will work out. Just maybe not the way you expected it to work out.
And that's exactly like, it's always, you know, it's funny. Like someone told me, you know, a funny thing that would you say how to go? Funny thing you ever told God is your plan. You know, he obviously have a plan for you. Exactly. So, you know, exactly. So you have to put, like you're saying, you just got to stop saying can't and putting all these different excuses and just go put one foot in front of the other and just do it. Basically,
one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
You have
Exactly.
this beautiful child. You want the best for her. That is what she'll get. All you have to do is do your part. Continue to teach her whatever it is. Continue to expose her to different information, different opportunities, and the rest will fall into place.
Exactly. So you guys hear that out there. So when you ever get stuck on one particular part on your vision board, exactly, just don't sit up there and worry about it. Just put one foot in front of the other and just do it. I mean, that's the only thing you can do is just go ahead and do it. But anything else that you're doing is just it doesn't matter. You just have to, like you say, you just do it. But moving on to the next topic, because I know our time right now is kind of short and all. So one other thing is, a lot of times I find out a lot of people in relationships and things like that, they tend to go ahead and they so comfortable because they've been in a relationship from so long, since I've been a kid, and things like that, is they jump in from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship to another relationship and keep on running back into the same things. So exactly, I'm thinking, why can't a person to sit there and take time out for themselves? It's like, a lot of times we feel like us as a person that we need someone in our life, that we need somebody to tell us what to do. We need somebody to help us with our goals. We need someone to put an arm around us every night and get to know ourselves and get to know our needs before we go ahead and jump into something else, and end up probably being back in the same place we was in 3 relationships ago. So what's the best part, about sitting back, taking time to get to know yourself and come with get more spiritual with yourself?
The best part of that is, particularly if you are hoping to attract your life partner, the best part of taking the time to know yourself first is that once you know yourself, because being alone is uncomfortable. All right.
Bobby Womack said it.
The things that come up, the demons that you have to face are not always pretty. But the best part of taking time to do that is, once you do that work, once you face your inner demons, and once you figure out what it is about you that keeps on attracting this abusive partner, what is it about you that keeps on attracting these deadbeats, or whatever it is you're attracting that is not in your greatest and highest good. Once you figure out what it is about you that's attracting this, what it is about you that is allowing people to treat you this way, you'll put yourself in a position where now, okay, I understand why I kept attracting this. And now I know that I deserve better. I am worth more, whatever it is that you needed to deal with. And once you understand that, you'll attract nothing less than what it is you truly desire, what it is you truly deserve. Because, I realized that this was the type of love, this is what I thought love was. I thought this man trying to control me meant that he loved me. I now understand that I don't need that. I have the power to do whatever. I have the power to make my own decisions. And by standing in that power, I am now telling my future life partner that, hey, I'm whole and I can control myself. I'm perfectly capable. I just need you to come in here and compliment what I'm doing.
Exactly, because like you say, you can't keep moving on with with the same baggage. Eventually, you're gonna have to. I know you like to travel with that same baggage because you feel comfortable and putting all your things inside there. But sometimes you might have to step your game up and go ahead instead of get yourself some real Louis, or something like that. You might have stepped yourself up because you're going to keep on looking for what you need inside of someone else instead of looking inside yourself and seeing exactly what makes you happy. And I believe you can't keep on doing these things and giving people false hope or you're going to be this good person, but yeah, you still carrying because of Tyrone or Keisha still on your other end, and you're still worried about what they're doing, but you're not. It's like you're cheating that person, like you're not giving them your 100%. So I think that you definitely got to get to know yourself. It's like on the episode of Martin when he went away in the mountains and came back with a rock and had his head twisted. You know, he had to go find himself. So, you know, there's things that, you know, we make light of things like that. You know, a lot of stuff that we see on TV, they say art imitates life, life imitates art. And a lot of stuff, these things are people are actually going through in life and things like that. So exactly like with you, what makes you, you know, what brought you to start doing, like you're saying, doing a podcast and, you know, vision boards and things like, and have it, was it something in your life that brought you to this part where, so I want to start looking at life in a whole new light now. I want to see what I was doing and things like that to start over.
So I realized that every goal I set for myself, everything that I wanted in life, I was able to achieve just by setting the intention, by having this desire and knowing that this is what I wanted. And it didn't always turn out, like I said, it didn't happen the way I expected it to happen. It wasn't the way me in this body would have planned for it to happen, but it always worked out so much better in my greatest and highest good. And I realized that if these things are happening for me without me, quote unquote, trying, imagine what my life would be if I really start being more intentional about it. So like, I always loved kids, always wanted to be a mom. Like that was like the one thing I absolutely knew I wanted to do in life. Yeah. I also knew that I wanted to be home with my kids. Like I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And this is like, I would say, like, when, you know, people ask me, like, what do you want to do? Like, oh, well, you know, like, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but like, really, like, I'll be a teacher. Like, I ended up being a teacher because it was an occupation that would afford me the opportunity to be on a very similar schedule to my kids. So like my whole life was kind of planned around being a mom. But in my head, I'm like, well, you know, I'm going to have to marry some rich guy that's going to be able to support me so that I can stay home with my kids. Well, when I was pregnant with my son, I ended up losing my teaching license. Okay. And the way that it happened was like ridiculous. I was working with, they were called certification specialists. So they were supposed to tell me like what I needed to do to keep my certification, because I had a temporary license and okay, what do I need to do to get the permanent license? And it was like, oh, you need to do this. Nah, not that. You need to do this. Okay, then I'll do that. And it came down to, we're in like August, I'm due in November. I needed one class. I had been working with these people from like March or May. So like I had time to take this one class had they told me from the beginning, this is what I needed to do. But that's not the way it worked out. And I ended up losing my license and being a stay-at-home mom for 6 years, which was ultimately what I truly desired. But, and I was forced to be home, because then it was like, okay, I don't have a license. What can I do that's going to bring an income that's going to make sense if I have to pay for childcare? And nothing made sense. So it just made sense for me to be home with our kids. And we made it work. So it was just one of those things where like, this was an intention I set. This is a goal that, you know, what I wanted. Did I see it happening the way it did? Absolutely not. But it worked out. And those were the best 6 years with me being able to be home with my kids.
And see that, you know, exactly stepping. And that's basically, you know, what I want to talk about, stepping out your comfort zone. People are nervous of, you know, they might want to be a singer, they might want to be an actress, they might want to be a doctor, lawyer, but they stuck at this job that might be paying good money. Mm-hmm. It's like that, but you know, but your dream, they're not happy because they are not exactly doing what they want to do in life. They say, you know, a job is not what you know, if it's something you like getting up every day in life doing and you're comfortable and you're happy doing, you know, that's something, you know, that's meant for you to do. But, you know, you go to work every single day, you know, these bills got to be paid, but it's a good job. It's a good paying job. It's hard to, but instead of, you know, you going, you know, doing your dreams walking away and things like that. It's a lot of people that scared to step out of their comfort zone. And like you say, you wasn't basically, you was kind of forced into stepping out your comfort zone, but
yes.
you made it your own. You went into the jungle with a bunch of lions that came out with the Backstreet Boys, your own backup group, and you made it your own. So exactly.
Yes.
So was you scared? Was you how was you feeling at that particular time?
So that's just it. Like you said, I know I never would have left my job. I would have had the baby and took my 6 weeks or whatever and went right back to work. That wasn't what I wanted. I knew that wasn't what I wanted, but that's what I would have done because that's what you do. So God was like, oh no, I see how this is gonna go. So I was forced to be home. But now fast forward to 2020, we're in the middle of this, pandemic. Everything is shut down. And I am now a fully certified special education teacher. Wow. I can get a job anywhere, at I was in high demand. I was good at my job and I was miserable. I hated getting up and going to work every day. And there's a lot of reasons why, but it finally came down to, for me, we're in the middle of whatever this is, whether you think it's as bad as they say it is or not. I look at what the people in charge are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I live in Connecticut. So in my state, government buildings are still closed to the public. Yes. Jury trials are still, virtual or whatever. So the state capitol, the governor and all of them, they're doing all their business virtually. But they're sending teachers back into classrooms. Why? We were doing it virtually in the spring. Was it perfect? No. Do we have things to learn? Absolutely. But guess what? We were doing it. It worked. But now you're pushing us back into classrooms that you claim are safe, but the government buildings are not safe for you. So all of these things. And I finally reached another point where it was like, okay, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to pursue, this podcast that I started. I wanted to pursue this coaching business and helping people to follow their dream. And that was the other thing. I'm on this podcast telling people to step out of your comfort zone, live your best life, and, be happy. But I'm not doing that. So it was like, and again, I'm coaching people to do this. Like I'm doing readings and listen, this is what you need to step out of your comfort zone. You need to step out into the unknown and trust God, trust the universe, know that you are well and you will be provided for.
Yep,
but I'm holding on to this good job with this good pay, good benefits, and miserable. So I finally had to decide that, you know what, I gotta practice what I preach. And I left, and I'm still, this was just in October. So, I mean, it's still only been 4 months. Yeah. Again, is it the way I would have? No, my plan was to save up X amount to have my business, replace my income before, do all these logical things before. I didn't. And it was the best decision that I could have made.
And that it's amazing. And then when I sit there and when you said that you came back and you got your special education certification, and what's so funny is now look how life is now, whereas everything is online now. Basically, I can see in the future that basically teaching is going to be online, tutoring is going to be online, everything is going to be online. So look how everything is starting to line up for you exactly on how you didn't want it to happen, but basically how you in the back of your mind you want to have it. You didn't picture it that happened how it's happening now, but it's working out exactly how you would like. Is working out in your favor.
Yeah,
exactly.
So perhaps maybe I'll go back into teaching eventually, but for now, this is what I love doing: talking to people about this stuff, or whether it's on my podcast or being a guest or through my coaching, through my workshops, like this is what I love doing.
It's amazing when you can sit there and tell people how you feel and things, what's going on in your life and things like that, and people actually listen and see what's going on, and they actually care, and they want to learn every single week or every time you put out something to hear exactly what you have going on in life, and it makes you feel a lot better. It makes you want to wake up a lot better every single day. It's like that one commercial when the person rolling down the street every single day, and they rolling with everything around them, the sheets, the cars, everything. I never really understood the meaning of the commercial until I actually had to sit there and watch it a couple of times at the time. But it's like, you just feel good in the morning time when you're waking up. You feel protected. You know what I'm saying? So, instead of going to work every single day, killing yourself with coffee and having a conversation with a coworker that you cannot stand, but you got to do this every single day because you got to feed your kids and things like that. So that's understand that's a whole better way of looking at things in a better light. So, one other question I have to ask you is basically about tarot cards, and I've been having a lot of friends. I have one particular friend that say that she just bought a pack, and I'm talking to her. She said she's learning. She's on YouTube. Well, she's YouTube University trying to get her degree.
YouTube University.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get a degree and things like that. So, is a person I never understood, what it was, misconception is watching on television and things like that. But I'm starting to see a lot more, especially like a lot of younger women, a lot of women of our descent and things like that is getting really into it. And a lot of these documentaries I'm looking at and seeing back in the ancient history days and things like what they did. They used the stars and different herbs and things like that to, just project things like that. So tell me a little bit about, enlighten me and educate me, because I really don't know anything about tarot cards. I don't know if when you flip them over, I don't know anything about them, but I want to learn. If I'm not learning something every single day, I'm not living. So, can you enlighten me? Because I'm starting to look at life a whole totally different right now.
So I always tell my clients who have never had a reading, I use the cards to help you get to where you want to go. So if you say, I want to go to Texas, and I shuffle and the cards say, more than likely, Alfie, you're not going to Texas. Okay, but I really want to go to Texas. So how can I get there? Well, right now you are in, Milwaukee, and you're heading, and forgive me because geography is not my thing. I was not a geography teacher, but you're in Milwaukee and you're heading west. So you're going away, from Texas or whatever. You need to go north or south or east, whatever,
like
you're
Washington State.
You're going in the opposite direction. You're going towards California. So if you continue on the road that you're headed on right now, you're going to get to California. You're not going to get to Texas. All right, cool. Let's shuffle again and let's figure out what road we need to be taking, what direction we need to be heading in order to get to Texas. Okay, right now I'm headed to California. That's not where I need to go. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go in order to get to Texas? And we'll pull some more cards and, well, this is what you need to do. This is the road you need to take. I'm trying to lose weight, but right now you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix and chilling. All right, but I really want to lose this weight. Cool. So what you need to do, you need to get out in nature more. You need to eat healthier. These are the steps that you need to take. So I always say, like, people get this impression that, oh, you're going to pull a death card and I'm going to walk out of here and get hit by a bus. No, like that is not, even a death card it's not it can be a literal death, but 99% of the time we're talking about something like a phase, something figurative. It's not literal, right? So it's this thing in your life, this habit or this whatever that you're doing, this chapter, this job is ending, or maybe it's that this job needs to end, but whatever it is, it's something that is no longer serving you, that is dying, or you need to let die.
You know, something that's, you know, that's going to die off in your life. Something that you already know is basically your parents telling you, you know, you keep on drinking, you're going to kill yourself. It's basically things that you
And
already
yes,
know. It's just reassurance.
exactly what you just said is the other part of the key. I have very rarely done a reading for someone and given them the message and they were completely shocked, like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. No, I'm telling you, the cards are telling you, Spirit, God is telling you what you already know. I'm just confirming for you what you already know.
So basically, you just giving them that extra, like, you
Yes.
already know what it is.
Yes.
So stop trying like you don't know what it is. Because, like you say, death doesn't always means death. You know, like you could be in a bad relationship or something like that.
Exactly.
And you already know it's at a dead end. But, you know, your mother told you, your father told you, your girlfriends told you every single
Everybody.
day. But then you
Yes.
come to a total stranger and they say, hey, bam, this is what you need to do. Is that, but the first thing you come to mind is because we see TV about Ouija boards. We think about all the stuff we see on television that they make light of, not knowing these are things that they, you know, this is when you want to go back on slavery days and you want to go back in the days when you talk about the ancestors in Africa and things like that, how they just use different techniques, even still to this day in some tribes over there in Africa and things like that. This is not stuff that, you know, someone just sat at home and say, that you know, the people that make that board game that we played as a kids came up with these cards and say this is, you know, it's just a game, but this is actually something that people have been doing for million, well, hundreds of thousands and thousands of years and things like that. So have basically, I mean, I don't know how it works. Do you tell? You know, once you get a reading, is, you know, do you go tell? It's like, you know, having a wish, you know, having a dream. You know, some they say don't tell your dream when you first wake up in the morning time, and or things like that, or making a wish on your birthday. Don't tell people your wishes. Is it okay? Like, okay, I had a reading. They say they're going to do this. Or is this something that you keep to yourself, or how does that? You know, is it your own preference?
I mean, that really depends on the client and what the reading is about. You know, there are definitely certain things that you would want to keep private with, you know, like you said, whether it's like a goal you're working on and there may be somebody around you, like you might not have the support network around you. So this is something you might not want to share. This may be something that you need to do as an individual. But I think it's, again, just like this, the person, the situation, what the reading, you know, who else is involved. It's an individual. I wouldn't say any of it is a blanket rule. It really just what works for you, what is in your greatest and highest good.
Exactly. I mean, I mean, I appreciate that because I now, you know, it's this one particular place when I was a kid and I walk up the street every single day. You'll see you'll see the sign say tarot reading, palm reading, psychic, you know, reading things like that. And I walk by the house every day for 11 years and never, like, always, you know, kind of nervous about going there, but always wanted to go inside because I say I want to get a read, to get my palm read. You see that on TV a lot. And I'm glad that you educate me, you know, a little bit more. And I'm definitely going to stop by your website. I'm definitely going to keep on listening to your podcast. And what's the name of your podcast again?
Lyfe Aligned, and that's Lyfe with a Y. So it's Lyfe Aligned.
Aligned. And give everybody, you know, your information and how can they reach you if they, you know, they want to have a reading, they want to, you know, they might want to get some more information on vision boards or anything that you got going on right now. You know, tell the people exactly everything that you want them to know.
So I actually, for the month of February, and I'm not sure when you're airing this episode, but as we're recording, it's February 3rd. I am doing a 28-day program. And this is it's simple, but it's powerful and it does take commitment. So every morning at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time, I get together with the participants who've signed up. We get on Zoom for 15 minutes for a 15-minute meditation. And then there's also a workbook that goes along with the program that you can complete on your own time. So this is it's totally free. It is really, I'm really excited about it because I'm excited to see the changes that the participants go through over the next 28 days. So again, this is a totally free offering that you can head over to my website to sign up for. And that website is Lyfe Crystallized. So that is again, Lyfe with a Y, Lyfe, crystallized.com. If you find me there, I try to make it very simple for people. The website, my business is Lyfe Crystallized. The podcast is Lyfe Aligned. So you can find the podcast at lyfealignedpodcast.com. I'm on social media on both of those handles, Lyfe Crystallized and Lyfe Aligned Podcast. So if you find me on one avenue, I'll have links to everything else on the other. So just choose a handle, Lyfe Crystallized or Lyfe Aligned Podcast, and you'll find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or like I said, online, wherever podcasts are found. And again, the links to everything. If you find me in one place, you found me everywhere.
So one-stop shopping. So y'all hear that
Yes.
right there. You can pretty much find her everywhere on internet, wherever your podcast, listening device or what have you. Go ahead, check her out. I'm telling you, I'm on my second podcast right now, listening right now. So, I'm a little hooked right now. This has been a pleasure. I really appreciate everything. You coming through, going through the technical difficulties and things like that. I appreciate everything.
Yes.
You working with me. I apologize again. Hopefully that we can, get together and do this again, sometime in the near future, whenever you like. I appreciate you stopping by. I really appreciate everything. And so again, everybody out there, y'all go ahead and stop by Lyfe Alliance, Lyfe Crystallized with Miss Crystal Holloway. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Miss Holloway. Enjoy your day.
You too.